Hello mathematicians, it's Miss Armgart coming at you with another instructional video. Today we are looking at translating expressions. So we're going from words to numbers and numbers to words. So the first thing is, what are the types of expressions? We have numeric, that's what you have seen pretty much your entire math career, are numeric numbers. So it can be simple expressions like 6 minus 7. It can also have multiple levels like 2 times 3 minus 5. Both of those are numeric. The new type of expression is the algebraic. So anytime you have a letter in your expression, then it becomes algebraic. Algebra is looking at the numbers. So please remember, X is not multiplication anymore. X becomes an unknown, a variable. So let's look at two different situations and figure out what variable we could use. So Anne has 2 marbles. Together, Anne and Taylor have 7 marbles. How many marbles does Taylor have? Now, variables can be any number. However, mathematicians like to be really straightforward. So I would use M for the marbles. If you have the perimeter of the fence is a total of 320 feet, it is 50 feet in length. We are unsure of the width. Be really straightforward. Use the W for the width. That way you know what that is supposed to be. Now, I said variable and unknown. They are similar, but not quite the same. So a variable can vary. It can be any number. So like here, in our first problem, the width could be anything. We don't know the area. We're just trying to find a width that could work. It could be 1, it could be 30, it could be 2,000. It could be any number. However, when we have one variable in our expression, then it becomes an unknown because 120 equals 30W absolutely has one solution. There is nothing else that could be. It has a value and we can find it. Whereas two variables, if we don't know the area, it could be anything. So they're very similar and you might hear it used interchangeably, but that is the difference. All right, so now let's look at some written expressions and algebraic expressions. So when we have a number f divided by 2, we can use either the division or fraction. I'm going to show you both. So we have f and we have divided by 2, or f on the top, 2 on the bottom. Right. So we're just taking the words and turning them into the algebraic expression. So 8 less than a number. So the less than means that number comes second. So a number n minus 8. So 8 less than. So we're taking away 8 from that original number. Less than means subtraction. 3 times a number. There are so many ways to write multiplication. You could do just 3n, or you could do 3 parentheses n, or you could do 3 and then the dot and n, whichever one of these. But remember, if I see 3xn, that is not going to work. The x is now a variable. It is some number. So please make sure you are using one of these 3 ways to show multiplication. Now, some of you might say, Armgart, can you do n3? You can. You are just not going to see that very often because mathematicians like to write the number and then the letter in multiplication. All right, so let's do some slightly more difficult ones. Those 3 were pretty basic. So now we have 4 times the sum of B and C. So the sum of, difference of, product, if you see the word of, that is a grouping because we have 4 and then we're going to multiply it by the sum, the addition of B and C. So of, you're going to say, oh, that's a grouping. That's its own thing because we want 4 times whatever that number is. It's not 4 times B or 4 times C. It's 4 times B plus C. All right, 2 less than the quotient of W and 6. Again, we have that word of. Remember, less than means you're going to flip it. So the quotient of W and 6 is division. So W divided by 6 minus 2. Now, do you have to do the parentheses? No, because our order of operations would say you do the division, then you do the subtraction. But when I see that word of, I'm going to add that parentheses to make sure that I'm still keeping that grouping together so that every time I see the word of, parentheses, whatever comes after it. All right, mathematicians, I went through this pretty quickly, so if you need to pause and go back, feel free. Don't forget to give an example of your vocabulary terms, and I am Miss Armgart saying happy solving.